looking to put a drive together.
On the quick, right?
Stroud sets up the play action. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he wisely will throw that one away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in. He's just got to throw this one away.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Look behind. Oh, and
play action. Here's Stroud. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Stroud looking to throw. Will try and do this himself. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Under.
Higgins goes in motion right. Again, it's Stroud. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
A gain of 15.
Stroud off the play fake. Now he'll tuck this and run. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. There defensively for the breakup, Charvarius Ward. You look at this Colt defense. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going.
Awesome touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll empty out the backfield and ready for a 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Baxter. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3 and out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
That's taken on the 25. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Throwing now is Stroud. He's got a man. It's his fullback. 7 yards there and a first down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he's able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
And the Texans first down.
First down, here's Mitchell. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Here we go.
On third down, here's Mitchell. Gets past one man. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I certainly thought he had an open book beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They run over center with Mitchell. And he's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Touchdown.
Dallas Goedert from 10 yards out. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in right around the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Off the play fake. Baxter. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. When you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the gun on 3rd down, Baxter. He's got his target. That's complete. It is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. On the give, it's Vidal. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
First down and 10 yards to go.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Check out.
Now the former Sun Devil, it's Cam Scatterbury. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Okay, break.
2nd down and 4.
Alert, alert. Ready.
A give, it's Scatterbury. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Cam Scatterbury, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are back within a score. Extra point splits the uprights. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Quick throw there is incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Stroud to throw it. Now he's going to step up and run. And they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
Another 3 and out.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted. It's spotted at the 14-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
19 tight, 19 tight. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Back to throw. Baxter. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Here we go.
They'll try and run here with Scalaboo. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
Damn, I miss you, Chester. Sending love from a bass compressor. Ground control over the soul like Chloe.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
All right. Under. Tony.
A handoff from Mitchell running left. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
All right. 18.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and 12.
Here we go. Under. 18. What's that?
Stroud. Screenplay setting it up for Mitchell. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Baxter. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On the tweak, right?
Play action. Stroud now. He'll try and do this himself. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Houston. Jalen Noel, 44 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
14.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Let's go.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Leonard. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. 2nd and 10.
Let's go now.
Looking to throw. Leonard. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Now he'll tuck this and run. On the throw, not in too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they get back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Texas. Here we go. White 18. What's that?
Final play of the half. Stroud. Now he's going to step up and run. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this one is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
This side is out. To run it down. It's your money, y'all. I put money down. On all of us. On my people now. On what I love. Ooh, baby, we run it down. Get it the minute the sun is out. There's no rest to my shut it down.
The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding somewhere to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That's to the tight end, Colby Parkinson. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Go street. Panther 60. Panther 60.
From the gun on 3rd down, Leonard. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they get... there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice beat.
Oh, he brought on the carpet, a fumble. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for. I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, trying to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
From the gun on 3rd down, Leonard. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Cougar 19. Go.
Off play action, Leonard. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Trap 60. Trap 60. 60 Eagle. 60 Eagle. Hey, smash. 60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat. Take over.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Complete right side to Otten. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
60 Bison. 60 Bison. Dragon 60.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Brought down in the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris. Now 2nd and 9.
Let's go. Nike. Viking, 18. 19 Lion. 18 Rebel. 18 Rebel. Go. Ready?
Back to throw. Leonard. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Rig alert. Rig alert. Panther 11. Panther 11. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Leonard. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they will score. Pick 6 for the Texans TD. Point after try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
26-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
3rd quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Leonard. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. From the gun on 3rd down. Leonard. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Tershawn Wharton, the one to get him to the ground on the defensive side.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Now Stroud. He's got a man. It's his fullback. 2 yards on the pickup there. And 3rd down and 6 to go. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. And Stroud now to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 48 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Taken on the midfield logo. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go.
A give here to Mitchell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 45.
3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On the handoff, Mitchell. Looks right. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Back to throw again. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Here's 2nd and 10.
70 Timberwolf. 70 Timberwolf.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again.
Open man is the rookie from Auburn.
And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
He's across midfield.
And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, give them credit. They're going to stay and fight this out to the end. 4th down, you've got to go for it. And they not only convert, but pick up some good yardage as well.
On the ground, it's Vidal.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 of the 15. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin.
And the Colts are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Come on, set. Like it,
back to throw. Leonard. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw. Leonard. Oh, the ball comes out. They hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sign of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. And not only will he not get in, he's going to lose yardage. They stuff him back at the 4. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And his Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. Now he's loose up the left sideline. On his horse. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 96 yards. And the Texans add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Now couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they try.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A run with Mitchell. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations. There'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
79 Bronco.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He finds his man complete. It's Bryant. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a contra, you would have heard plenty of solid notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
2nd and a couple.
Come on. 7, go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Leonard. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Not even a little bit. Oh, Lord. Know yourself. Know your worth. My actions being louder than my words. How you sold, you can still sold under hurt.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Leonard. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
19, 18.
2nd and 3. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one in the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Well, there you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
They'll try and throw for him. But his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Right back to Mitchell here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Look, 18. South.
Here's Stroud. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Fielded just inside the 30. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hoffman. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Brings up 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Leonard. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Amari Hooker. And the Texans force the turnover and take over at their own 27. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just... It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Houston, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.